Okay, so let's take a look at how to divide numbers using a standard algorithm. So I'm going to take the number 36. I'm going to write the expression here. 36 divided by 6 equals, I don't know, a variable. Okay, remember the variable can be also like a question mark, a box, a blank. It's just meaning I'm not sure what that is. It's representing a number for us. Okay, so it's written out like this. Now, if we know our multiplication facts, we know this right away. But if we don't, we can use the algorithm. So I'm going to draw the algorithm right here. So let's go just like that. Now, my dividend is the number that goes inside. That's going to be this first one here in our expression. So 36 divided by 6. Gotta be real careful about these numbers and being able to flip them to make sure we know which one is the divisor and which one is the dividend. Remember, the divisor is the one that's doing the dividing into the groups, and the dividend is the one that's being broken up into groups. So let's look here. Well, if I don't know my multiplications right off the top of my head, which you should, but if you don't, there's a tool for you to use. We call it the top and the bottom chart. Now, the top and the bottom chart is essentially just a way for help you skip count. Okay, so it's just a way of skip counting. So what happens most often than not that, students that don't know their multiplications, they'll be there counting their fingers, drawing little boxes, putting little tally marks. Well, in this case, we're going to create a top-bottom chart, and that way you don't have to worry about constantly counting as well as making little marks over and over again. This is almost like a little tool, almost like a little cheat sheet to help you out when you're doing your division. And actually this kind of helps you out also a little bit once we get to very large divisors. Okay, so all I'm going to do is times 3, not times 3, we're going to do times 6 because our divisor is 6. Okay, so 1 times 6 gives me 6. 2 times 6 gives me 12. 3 times 6 gives me 18. 4 times 6 is 24. 5 times 6 is going to give me 30. And then 6 times 6 is going to give me 36. So I went ahead and showed using multiplication, but you can also do repeated addition. You can have 1 times 6, I know it's 6. 6 plus 6 is going to give me 12. Add another 6 gives me 18. Add another 6 gives me 24. And you kind of get the feeling of how to do this, okay? So the reason why we have it a top and a bottom because it'll actually let us know which number goes on the top in our quotient and which one is going to go on the bottom to be subtracted. So let's take a look. Remember, we're only going to be moving one digit at a time unless the dividend needs some assistance. So let's look here. 6 goes into 3. Well, is there any number here on my bottom that gets me very, very close to the number 3 without going over? The closest one I have is the 6, but the 6 is way too big. So, unfortunately, 6 cannot go into 3. So, all I'm going to do is just put this little spacer 0 just to show that, hey, 6 can't go into 3. So, there's going to be no value in that first place value. So now, instead of 3, it is now 36. So 6 goes into 36. Is there any number here on the bottom part that gets me very, very close to 36 without going over? Well, yeah, exactly. There's 36 exactly. So which number goes on the top? Well, the top, is 6. So that number goes on the top in the quotient. And I know 6 times 6, we said what comes on the bottom? 36. I put it right here on the bottom. And I subtract. 36, 6 minus 6 is 0. 3 minus 3 is 0. I want to get as close as I can to 0 I want to go as close as I can to go in with 0, or if I have anything left over, I want it to be less than my divisor, which is 6. In this case, I have actually nothing left. I have no numbers here, no values, and I have no values, no more place values to bring down. So my quotient for this one, x equals 6. Okay? So that's one of them. Let's do another one. So let's go with, let's pick another one. Let's do 24 divided by 8 equals, well, variable, I don't know, x. So I'm going to write it up again. Remember, my dividend is going to be 24. My divisor, the one actually doing the dividing, will be on the outside, is 8. Now, if I don't know my 8s, I can definitely make a top and a bottom chart. So 1 times 8, 8. 2 times 8 is 16. Remember, I can also just do repeated addition. Now you're saying, Mr. Rod, do I have to always go all the way to 6? No, you don't have to always go to 6. You can actually go as far as you can. So you can actually probably stop at 3, at 4. It's up to you. And you'll have to look as you're going through your division, do I have to go further? Now, don't go as so far as you're going here to on your top column, going all the way down to like 15, 30, 40. Ooh, it's way too much. Okay? So you kind of want to feel for what you think. How far do you think you need to go? If you need a larger number, you can always continue on with your list. Okay? So in this case, if I were to stop at 2 and I had 16 and I'm looking at that number going, oh, maybe I need to go a little bit higher, then I can continue on with the list. All right, so let's take a look here. Remember, we're going one digit at a time. 8 goes into the 2. Is that possible? Can I actually get 8 out of 2? Well, I'm looking here on my bottom chart, and there's no number that is close to 2 without going over. 8 is close, but it's way too big. Okay, so 8 cannot go into that first place value. So now instead of a 2, the 2 is going to get some assistance from the rest of the values from the next value over, and it becomes a 24. So is there any number over here that gets very, very close to 24? Yeah, there is. It's exactly 24. So what number goes on top? The 3 is in my top, so I place it in the top. 24 is my bottom, so I put 24, and I subtract. 4 minus 4 is 0. 2 minus 2 is 0. I don't have any more values to bring down, so my quotient equals 3. This is your digital tutor saying, thanks for watching. Make sure to check out some of our other videos if you still need help. Also, hit that subscribe button to be notified about new uploaded videos.